It's a war, and thousands are being killed. Israel and the United States are carpet bombing Tehran, and there's lots of death. Schoolgirls being killed, a bloodbath underway. At the same time, the world economy is about to go into one of the biggest crises in the modern period, driven by the complete collapse of oil supplies coming from this region, a predictable consequence of the Israeli-U.S. aggression. So this is a calamity. This was a war of choice. Benjamin Netanyahu told us in a tweet last week, this fulfills a dream of 40 years. This is a war not caused only by Israel. This is a joint Israel-U.S. madness. The U.S. wants to rule the world, and Israel wants to rule its region, the Middle East, and they partner together. So it's not really right to say that Israel determined this or the U.S. determined this. This is a partnership. It was interesting that you had Tony Blinken on just a moment ago. He partnered in the genocide in Gaza. It was the same with his administration, a U.S.-Israel partnership that goes back decades. It has created a disaster around the Middle East, absolute disaster from Libya to Iran, with many countries desolate and destroyed in between. And it now will create a disaster for the whole world. I know you're going to have Ambassador Danny Dunn on after me. He represents, in my view, a government that is doing more damage to the world and to humanity than any other government. He doesn't like my saying that, but that is actually the point, together with his partner, the United States. Both of them are rogue nations led by megalomaniacs, creating havoc for the world completely unnecessarily. I was saying that Israel is committing suicide because it is destroying any remnant of sympathy or empathy in the United States and all over the world. So I said that suicide was tragic. We have polls, Pierce, that show that for decades, U.S. sympathy ran 60 to 70% for Israel, 15% for Palestine. Now they run 41% for Palestine, 36% for Israel. In other words, the American public is on the side of Palestine, and that's going to grow dramatically. What's going to happen, whether Mr. Dannon or his colleagues like it or not, the world is going into a profound economic crisis in the coming weeks and months. And this is Israel's choice. Israel set this off together with the United States. The world will pay a fearsome price for this delusion. And people will know where this came from. It's very, very sad. Very sad. It's suicidal for Israel. I'm not able to answer any definitive military judgment, but the people who are opining on this around the world believe that that is not the case, that Iran has held together and will continue to hold together, has vast arsenals of missiles and drones, and we'll see, because this war is not ending in the next few days. And Israeli generals themselves have said publicly this could go on into the fall, and the American public is being prepared for a long war. So even the progenitors of this war are not claiming that this is about to be won. I don't hear that from anybody. I don't see it in the markets either, in the soaring oil prices. I don't see it in the behavior of the energy producers, suppliers, and shippers. I don't see it in the shutdown of production in Qatar on its gas, and Iraq on its oil, and the destruction of oil fields. I see a calamity building and a lot of blood flowing it's a kind of mass murder of civilians by Israel and the United States. This is shocking, actually. We should keep it in mind. This is not targeted bombing. This is carpet bombing Tehran. And I've been speaking on the phone with absolutely desperate people in Tehran in the last 48 hours, and it's carpet bombing. And they're killing indiscriminately. We have a lot of Americans. We have a very particular society. We have a lot of Americans who are saying, move on. This is Armageddon coming. This is the promised end of the world. We are hearing lots of reports about this being preached in the military. We're seeing a lot of people who believe that the worse it gets, the closer we are to the second coming of Jesus Christ. And that's a motivating factor in the United States, I have to tell you. It's a significant part of Mr. Trump's base. And so bad news is not necessarily deterrence. It may just mean escalation to Armageddon. It is a grim situation that we're in. We've not seen anything like it, actually, since World War II. This is even beyond the Iraq War. They then had, I won't say the dignity, but they then had the impulse to hide the motivations. Here, there is no impulse to hide the motivations. It's just complete kill anybody and kill everybody and overturn this society of 100 million people and an ancient society of 5,000 years. So it's dreadful.
Professor Jeffrey Sachs, I've interviewed you many times. I don't think I've ever heard you speaking with such raw emotion, but I appreciate you coming back on our sense.
We're heading to World War III, and we're being led by extraordinarily violent governments in Israel and the United States. And you'll hear a great defense in a moment by a skilled Israeli diplomat. But what they are doing to the world is absolutely unforgivable, and it will be recognized as such. And it's a tragedy. That's why I didn't use the word homicide when I talked to Mr. Dannon. I used the word suicide, because what Israel is doing is committing suicide.